Hey guys, we're live. I'm Jeff with eBay Addicts, and today my guest is Ms Taffy. How are you doing today, Ms Taffy?
Great, how you doing?
Good, good, good. I was watching some of your YouTube videos and catching up with some of your videos lately, and looks like you've been busy. You've been hustling. I just wanted to say congratulations for hitting 500 subscribers. Because if someone's not a content creator, they have no idea. When you're going from zero to the 1K mark, it's like you're driving a car uphill. You know when you're driving a car uphill and it's like. That's what it's like, and you're just trying to get up that hill, so it could be a grind, but I'm happy for you that you hit 500 subscribers, and next, hopefully, by the time Santa Claus gets here for Christmas, you're going to be at 1,000. I believe you can do it.
Thank you, that's the goal. It's quite a slow pace, but I appreciate it. I understand the grind and the hustle that comes with it, and I'm ready for it.
Yeah, you're going to make it happen. I believe in you. So go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience in case they don't know who you are. Tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and tell them what it is that you do.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Ms Taffy. I've been my family been calling me Taffy since I was a baby. I come from retail. I had a cell phone store for a little over 10 years. I recently closed that down last year October, and since then I've been reselling part time. I go to estate sales, yard sales, anywhere where I can buy anything for low and sell it for pretty much higher. And that's what I've been doing. I've been loving it. It's been my peace of mind, and I've been creating content and showing other people what sell since last year October. So I'm enjoying it.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So Miss Taffy, you live in Los Angeles, right? In that area? And so you guys, you still have your full time job. You're still a part time reseller, and you still make time to put out YouTube videos and make content. So I can feel the energy. That's what I like about you. You have this positive vibe about you, and you're just like, hey, no matter what, I'm gonna make it happen. So let me say hello here to a few people in the chat. We have Regina is in the chat. She says, let's go. Your buddy is here in the chat. Kelly Reseller Louise. I caught you guys. I think he met up with you. You had like a flea market. You had a booth or something set up over the weekend, last weekend, and I saw it on Instagram and on YouTube. I wanted to say hey to Nikki Pink Thrift is in the chat. She says Miss Happy. The ATL Flipper is here. Nikki Pink Thrift says Thunder Thighs. I don't know if that's an inside joke or what that is from. And I wanted to say hey to LKL Graphics. Keith is in the house. So, hey guys, thanks for coming on and hanging out with us today. So, Miss Taffy, you gotta tell us a little bit of your backstory. You gotta tell us first of all, how did you get started into this business with your cell phone business? You got to tell us a little bit about that, and then you got to tell us the story of how you got started into reselling because it's an interesting story if people haven't heard it.
Okay, everyone. It was the how this is how I got my cell phone store. Basically, it started off when I was in college. I had a psychic phone, and I was in class running my mouth, and I cracked my screen. And of course, I wanted to see running my mouth, so I went on Craigslist at the time. Craigslist was very popular, and I went on there looking for somebody that could fix my cell phone screen. So I found this woman, his name's Craig. He was like, "Hey, I can meet you at the local gas station. I can fix your screen for you within minutes for I think it was like $75." So I'm like, "All right, that's fine." So I met him at the local gas station, and he said, "You want to watch me do it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." He did it within like 5 minutes, guys. He fixed my screen. I'm like, "Wait, that's it? And you want $75?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Wow!" Like he made it look so simple. So if he could do it, I could do it. And it kind of worked in my favor because he asked me like, "Hey, you want to ride with me while I fix phones?" Because at this time he did it for a living, and so I kind of shouldn't have did this. It was kind of dangerous, but I will with my gut flow. I rode with him while he fixed phones and for all different kind of people. He went to their homes and fixed their phones. So as he's doing this, guys, I'm watching him do it. So I started going on eBay buying broken phones. And I would practice on them at home. I went and bought the parts from Fry's Electronics, and I was taking the screen and the keyboard apart. I just kept practicing and practicing, and then until I learned how to do it for sure. So after that, I made me a business card, and I started going from cell phone to cell phone. Like, hey, I'm Taffy, I fix phones. And I think it kind of helped to my advantage, being that I'm a woman. They started calling me. I was going to their stores, fixing phones for any and everybody. I was fixing their phones, and I was ordering parts from eBay. And then one day I'm like, hey, I need to get these parts cheaper. So I'm doing research online. So I went to Alabama and I started ordering parts from there. I'm still fixing parts, phone parts for all the stores. And I started getting exhausted. It was becoming too much for me. And I met this one gentleman and he was like, hey, come in my store, just help me pay the rent. and you wouldn't have to go from store to store no more. Everybody come to you. So I started doing that. I did that for about 2 years, and then one day he was like, "Hey, I'm losing my store. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Mind you, I'm still in college. My major is sociology, not business, and I was only like 22, 23 years old. But luckily, since I was doing so many repairs and making so much money, I had money saved up. So I ended up buying this store for a little bit over $10,000, and I had it for the last 11 years. Since I had the store, I've been selling parts. I was selling parts to other stores. I stopped fixing phones, so I was selling Apple parts, the batteries, the backs, anything I could think of to other stores. I had created a website, and all the stores I had their permit numbers, and I was wholesaling the parts to them. Until one day, Apple came down on me. They sent me a cease and desist letter, and once they sent that, I said, you know what? It kind of scared me, to be honest, because I didn't know too much about the legal side. So that's when I stopped selling the parts. But luckily, the cell phone store it was still doing okay then. So then, that's when I started my career. Once I stopped selling the parts, I started my career because I graduated college and I have my degree in sociology. I said, hey, you know what? The store's doing okay, but let me, use my degree. So I started doing that, and slowly the store started, doing bad. To be honest with you, I tried to make it do better. I added the lottery to it. Amazon lockers, it was still like the traffic wasn't there anymore because I wasn't doing repairs, and it was another store opened up 2 blocks away from me. So that started taking a lot of my business. But luckily, I was still buying phones from the customers, so that was kind of helping me stay afloat because I didn't want to turn that money down. But unfortunately, last year October, it was too slow for me, so I had to close it down. And I've never just had like one source of income. Like I'm used to fast-paced income, so I was low key. I was panicking because I'm like, you know what? I need another income. So my mom, she actually helped clean up her closet or whatever. She had these dresses, and she's like, "Can you throw them away for me?" I said, "Throw them away." But I remember she paid a lot of money for these dresses. I said, "I'm not throwing them away." I said, I was on eBay before. Let me go back on eBay. I started searching the dresses. I sold one dress for $200. And I'm like, you know what? So I started listening to dresses, and I'm like, hold on, this is gonna run out. I need something else. So I'm on YouTube, and I seen Daily Refinement. He was like talking about eBay, finding something that you could sell 10 of a day and make some money. I'm like, hey, let me look into that. But I couldn't find nothing at the moment. So I was already stressed out. I'm closing my business, and I got this job. So then he did a deal with part-time pickers, and he had a garage sale. And I just seen him. He was like, hey, I just bought this for like $30. I'm about to make like $500. I said, hold on, I love it.
Right.
I could do the same thing he's doing.
Right. So,
And, uh,
so what I liked about it is that, you were at the time, you were still a college student. You were 23 years old, and you're just like, you're like, I don't even know nothing about, this cell phone business, repairing phones, flipping, reselling phones. But you're just like, I'm just going to dive in head first and figure it out. Somebody in the chat, I think Derek says, tell Ms Taffy to check her phone. We're having audio issues. I don't mean to be rude, but can you jump out of the live stream and then jump back in? I don't know because I tried to switch my phone up to see if we can check it out. Because I'm in Florida, Miss Taffy's in California, so we may be having technical difficulties. These things happen sometimes. So I'm going to message her on Instagram to see if we can get her to come back. I'm going to send her the StreamYard link. I was having trouble hearing her. I don't know what I think it's just some technical issues. We'll see what happens. Let me say hello here to a few people in the chat. I wanted to say hey to Sal's HQ is here. Nikki Pink Thrift is in the chat. The Selling Sniper is in the house. ATL Flipper is here. I wanted to say hey to Keith is in the chat. Cali Reseller Louise, ATL Flipper, and I wanted to say hello here to. I wanted to say hey to Nakoma Fines is in the chat. So hey, I think we're back now. You good?
am I louder?
Just speak a little bit louder. I don't know, for whatever reason, it's like, I don't know if it's because you speak softly and carry a big stick. Maybe that's what it is. If you could just speak up a little bit, because I'm having a hard time hearing you. Somebody says I can hear her. It's just slightly low on her end. So if you could just speak a little bit louder.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to yell. Can you guys how I sound now?
Yeah, just go with that. Go with that tone of voice, because I don't want you to be like yelling at the audience, but they were having trouble hearing you. But so I didn't mean to interrupt you. So you had this cell phone business. You bought this guy out for $10,000. You had this business for 11 years, And then after that, I like that you said that you were kind of panicking because you're not one of those people that only likes to have one source of income. You like to have multiple streams of income. So one day you were watching Chris from Daily Refinement and you were watching him buy stuff at yard sales and resell it. And you're like, hold on, I can do this. If he can go out and shop and buy this stuff for low and resell it for a higher price, you're like, I know I can do this. So kind of tell us a little bit more about what happened after that.
Okay, so after I watched the video with Chris and Matt, that weekend I went to a estate sale. I did a lot of research before that. I'm sorry, I skipped a step. I'm on YouTube. I'm like, hey, where can I find these sales? So I'm watching everybody's videos, and then I heard of the site, estatesales.net, and I heard of, the yard sale app. So at the time, it was during the weekend, I went on the app and I found a location. And it was a lady. She said her husband recently passed. He was in the army. So I'm like, hey, let me go there. I ended up buying a knife for $5, and I sold it I took the best offer for $275, and I haven't looked back since. I've been going to any and every estate sale. I actually went to one today, and it's one of my biggest sellers. Again, I'm just as shocked because I bought it for 50 cents, and I sold it for $799.
What? $799? Okay, that's awesome. We were just getting ready to get into that. We have a question from the chat. The ATL Flipper says, Ms Taffy, what is your biggest sale that you've had so far? Like, what is your biggest flip, biggest sale? Because you got to tell people about, also you got to tell them about that VHS tape that you sold for $900. Because I was just talking about that the other day, telling guys that if you guys see, like if you see a VHS tape that's still like this, it's still in the shrink wrap and they're not making them no more, and you can pick them up for a quarter or 50 cents or $1, you should go ahead and pick them up because they're not making them anymore. Ms Taffy just picked one up. Tell them the story. If you paid $4 for it and you flipped it for $900, so tell us the story about that.
I was in the city of Burbank, California, and on the weekends I have a death pile. I think we all do. And I was telling myself, you know what, you can't go listening. But I went to my favorite breakfast spot and they told me the wait was 40 minutes, and I'm like, I need to kill time. So I went on the app again, and I ended up finding a sale, and it was a lady. They were just selling things. I went up there. It was about 10:30, and I was rounding through their sale, and I seen a movie, and I'm like, this movie, it appears to be a classic. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just get it. I had my phone recorded. I had my GoPro, so I couldn't look up the comps. But I'm like, you know what, it's an older VHS. I can't go wrong. And I ended up buying it for $4, and I sold it. I had it listed for $4,100 because it was only my listing and another guy listing. His listing was he had his graded, and I talked to Leroy about that. He's like, don't get it graded, just sell it as is. So one guy offered me $1,500. I accepted that, but then he was like, oh, I'm ready to see my money back. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I canceled it, so I just relisted it, and then this other gentleman offered me $900, and I jumped on it.
Right. So you guys, if you just go out here in the field, sometimes you're going to get lucky. But I tell you guys, the harder you work, the luckier you get. If you're out there looking and scanning barcodes and out here hunting, looking for merchandise, what do they say? A blind squirrel still finds a couple of acorns. So you were out here hunting. You picked up this VHS. I think it was like an Aliens VHS tape, if I was wrong. And you paid $4 for it, and it sold pretty quickly. And you turned around and sold it for $900, right?
I did. So now I'm on the hunt for VHS. I'm more so looking for horror VHS and older classic that people love to watch.
Yeah.
Up right now. I think I'm going to start getting them graded because that's even more money. Like the one I sold today, I think I should have got it graded because it's so, I promise you, I listed it and within 10 minutes it's sold, and I'm like, huh? So I probably should have got it graded, but it's okay because I sold it for $7.99. This one only take 50 cents. So
that's what I'm saying, right? I shipped out I think I sold a VHS tape today for $20 and I paid like 50 cents for it. So, I mean, if you've got a quarter or 50 cents, because most of these places like thrift stores, yard sales and stuff, some of these people, the young kids, they don't even know what a VHS tape is. So if you can see something and it looks old and dusty and it's still new in the shrink wrap, go by and check it out. You never know what you could sell for, because Ms Taffy was willing to take 5-10 minutes out of your day to go to that yard sale and estate sale, and you were like, hey, let me go ahead and pick this thing up. And because you didn't even have your phone on you to look up those comps at the time, you were just like, hey, let's roll the dice and see what happens. You went ahead and bought it for $4, and you turned around and sold it for $900. So I can respect that, because you was out in the field looking for the merchandise, and you were just like, hey, even though I don't have my phone on me, I can't check the comps, let's just go ahead and grab it and see what happens. Because worst case scenario, you're gonna still make a profit. You just didn't know if it was going to be $20 or $400 or $500. It turned out to be $900. So I'm glad that you was out there getting it. So what was one of your biggest flips that you've had here lately?
Another one I had, it was a phone. I believe I paid $5 for it, and it sold for 305.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've been fortunate such a short time. I've been buying small items that they've been selling for a lot. I bought a fan for $2. That sold for 200. Yeah, I'm very fortunate. And I'm gonna give you guys a sneak peek. The video is coming out this week, but I'm gonna show you guys. You guys are tuned in. This is a VHS that I sold today.
Tell them.
790.
Right. And how much did it sell for?
$799. This is Gremlin.
Okay. You heard it. Yeah. You see that? $799. Right. There's some people that work a job and they don't make $800 in a week, and you just did it off of one VHS tape. So, right. I'm with it. So, Ms Taffy, you do a lot of different things. People think that, if they didn't know you as a person, they would think that you just work your 9-to-5 job, but you do a lot of different things. You shoot YouTube videos. You're out here reselling. You still work your regular job. And tell our audience a little bit about flipping phones, because when you had your cell phone repair business that you did, you would also buy phones for cheap and turn around and resell them on eBay, and you were making money on the side doing that. So kind of give us a little bit of some game, give us some knowledge on what we need to look for if we want to flip phones, and tell them what we need to look for as far as like when you're out here looking for VHS tapes, what type of items should we be looking for? I mean, obviously, new sealed in the shrink wrap is the best right now because it's been flying off the shelves, right?
I would say in regards to VHS, look for horror movies and classics that like Star Wars, you can't go wrong. Like the movie Alien, the movie I just sold, classics. Cartoons, you could still do money. It's just the horror movies they're worth a lot more. The price range. Like I just seen 3 Star Wars. They went for I think 18,000.
What? Crazy.
They go for a lot, guys. It can change your whole life. Like one sale, like this sale, just made my whole weekend, to be honest. But I'm sorry, I mean to switch subjects. Back to the phone. When a customer came in, they upgraded their phone. They always like, hey, what can I do with my old phone? They started giving me the phones, and I'm like, hey, they're just sitting here. I know somebody else that may need a phone, so that's when I'll take pictures, I'll clean them up, and I'll just restart them, and I'll put them on eBay. So at the time, it was just any phone, like, because say you upgrade to iPhone 10, somebody may want your iPhone 9. There's always a customer that wants the phone or need the phone for a cheaper price. So I had that in my mind. So whenever a customer upgraded, I was like, hey, let me buy your old phone for like $2, and then I was just reflip it online, and that helped the money continue to grow. And like that was part of how I purchased the business. I was buying the phones and I was selling the parts. So it's a lot running a cell phone store. In order to stay afloat, you have to do multiple things. I think buying phones is one of the biggest parts of it. It's just right now that market is kind of flooded because there's cell phone stores on every corner. But as long as you have your clientele and you know what to look for and sell, I think you do fine. Because right now, I would say go for iPhones, unlock them. They go for big money overseas, of course. iPhones and Samsungs too, but more people want iPhones at this time. So if you're doing it nowadays, I would just say, hey, look on Craigslist, not Craigslist, look on OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace. Somebody's always upgrading their phones. So that's why the big companies are like offering customers, hey, turn in your old phone, we'll give you a discount. Because they now know the value of old phones. So most people are doing that now too. They're turning their old phones to the Verizon or whatnot, AT&T, to get credit. But you find those people that don't turn their phone in, like a relative, like, hey, your mom, they got old phones laying around. I will always say, look for family members. Family members, they always, they have things laying around your house, and you can start your business from there. Because some people don't have, the money to start business. So I always say, go to family and start it from there. You can't go wrong.
Okay, cool. Let me say hello here to Gravity Goods. Just stopped by Cameron in the chat. I wanted to say hello. I wanted to say hey to Nakoma Fines is in the chat. I want to say hello to Adebayo is here. And I wanted to say hey to the Bearded Thrift Machine is here. And Sal's HQ is in the chat, the ATL Flipper. And I wanted to say hey to Hunting with Tripler. So thank you guys for stopping by and hanging out with us today. So I wanted to ask you a question, Ms. Taffy. I saw this on Instagram. Are you going to be reopening your cell phone shop, or tell us the story of what that's about? Because I saw a post on Instagram about your cell phone business.
Okay, no, I'm not reopening it. I closed it down back in October, and they were doing construction on the business. But the owner decided to put my logo back on the business. I don't know why he did that. The business is for lease, but another cell phone store may try to, go in there because I was in there so long. But I'm going to talk to him about taking my sign down because that I created that logo and that was my brand name. But no, I'm not opening it back up. I prefer
Oh,
retail.
okay.
That's overhead and more money.
Oh, okay, cool. Let me say hello here to Leroy. Blood, Sweat, and Cell is here in the chat. He says, this is a market specialist. I wanted to say hey to Dana Invest. Hey, I saw you the other day on your live stream. I caught the replay. So now tell us a little bit about this because I saw you on with Kelly Reseller Louise the other day, and you guys were out there at that flea market. So tell me, how did you do there with this, with your booth? How did it go?
This is my first time. I went really, really hard. I went and got tables, tablecloths, a tent, everything. I got the fake grass because I wanted to look nice. I did well for myself. It was my first time, like I said, so I took a lot of things. But now that I know the crowd and what they're looking for, I would just say, if you this your first flea market, I would say, but look at the crowd and see what they want. Like next time I'm doing the next one again, I'm just taking vintage tees and sneakers and things of that nature. Like I had all sorts of vintage things. It was more of a younger crowd. I went to the Rose Bowl Flea Market in Pasadena, California. I'm not sure if any of you guys are familiar with that, but it was a great. It was a great outcome. I really enjoyed myself and the money was good. So I'm definitely doing it again. And it's also a way to get rid of my items in my desk now. So I'm definitely going back. But it was fun. And Louise came out, Derek, Marquise. I really value the YouTube community. They came out and they supported. I appreciate
you
that.
you had the whole crew out there with you, didn't you?
I felt so much love. I was
Right.
able. Yeah.
So, Miss Taffy, I wanted to switch gears for a second. Can you talk to us a little bit about your YouTube channel? Because you're climbing. I mean, I think it was last week I was hanging out with Derek Hump Day Hangout, and he was talking about you. He was like, "Hey, Miss Taffy puts out great content. It's like she deserves to have more subscribers, more viewers." So, tell us a little bit about what kind of content you make on your YouTube channel. So, if people aren't subscribed or they haven't been by to check you out, tell them what it is that kind of like what kind of content you create and what it is that you do. You do a lot of sourcing videos, like what sold videos. I checked out your storage unit too. I like that you had a whole storage unit to put your stuff in.
Yeah. Okay. The content I try to create informative content because like myself, I was the day one. I started. I didn't know what to look for or what to do. So I try to create content for that person that's trying to make some money but they don't know where to go. And I also try to be entertaining. So I also just purchased a van, so I'm creating content with that. I'm going to start doing hauling. So in case someone wants to, purchase a van to do hauling, I'm going to do informative content about that. I also do sourcing where I go to, estate sales, yard sales. I show me actually buying items, like what to look for, what's selling, what not to buy, and what makes it up in your desk pile. I show a little bit of everything, a lot of entertainment, like a lot of bolos, to be honest, because I want people to know when they're out what items to buy to make that big amount of money that they never expected to sell. So I want you to be like, hey, it's what a happy video, so I can find something that, I need some money right now. What's gonna sell? And I want them to know they can come to my channel and see those items that's selling.
Yeah, well, like I said, you do a whole variety of stuff. Like, you sold that fan, you sold a VHS tape, and then I was watching one of your recent videos where you picked up this, like I think it was an Xbox 360, and you weren't even for sure if it worked or not, but you were just like, let me go ahead and roll the dice. And you're like, comment below if you think it's going to work. And I'm like, it's going to work. It's going to work. Because then the dude powered it on and then it lit up and he's like, oh, it works. So, you're willing to kind of roll the dice and take a chance on some of these items and just to see. But you got that and a couple of other items for like less than $10. So you were able to pick up some deals, some steals, and you were getting out on the wheels. So tell us about some of these items you picked up lately.
Okay, that's another thing. When I go out, I try not to spend that much money. I try to spend the least as possible because my desk pile is enormous. So I try to spend as little as I can. And luckily, I've been fortunate. Like I go to estate sales, I look for Jordan tennis shoes. You can't go wrong. Video games, you can't go wrong. Even though a lot of people are looking for video games, but sometimes if you ask the seller, hey, you have video games, they may have some in the back and they bring them out to you. I think it's all about networking and building, your clientele. What when I go to sales, let me see what else do I look for. I look for vintage tampons. Those do well as well. I bought
Really?
yeah, I bought a sealed pack. They gotta be sealed though. I bought a steel pack for $1 from 1987, and I sold them for like $40, and that was including the shipping. So I look for any. I think I'm leaning more towards vintage items. They do really really well for me, and that's why I bought the van because the tampons and the lawn chairs. You can't go wrong with lawn chairs. At times I get them for free, and I sell them for $80 plus
Wow.
shipping on Facebook
Yeah.
Marketplace. That's another good platform to sell on, guys. And I created a business account on there. If you have a business account created on there, and it's no fee. At the end of the year, of course, you pay taxes, but as long as you save your receipts and everything like that. But
Yeah, Ms Taffy, I was watching your videos, and I don't know how you were at this estate still, and you had like the lady had, I don't know, 7 or 8, 10 boxes of stuff, and it was still like new in the plastic, and you were just you were like, oh, this is new, this is new, this is new, and it was all different type of like household stuff, but it was all stuff that was like still new, vintage, still in the box. So you look for a lot of vintage items, and you try to get stuff, because if you get stuff that's new in the shrink wrap and they haven't made it in 20 years, so it's kind of like you corner the market, because what happens is that that person's looking for that particular item, they can't go to Walmart or Target or Best Buy to get it. The only place they can get it at is online, and then now you got to have all the leverage in the negotiation, because you have items that's new in the shrink wrap that your customer can't get nowhere else. They only can get it online. And so it's kind of like you have the market, just like I was saying earlier. If someone wanted to buy this vintage VHS tape, they can't go to Walmart or Target or Best Buy and pick it up. Where are they going to find it at? Unless they go to a flea market or a yard sale or a thrift store, and even then it may be dented and scratched up. It may not be in good condition. So talk a little bit about some of these vintage items that you picked up lately.
I think it was the last estate I went to about 2 videos ago. It was a VHS recorder that was brand new, old stock, and she had telephones, brand new old stock, and a lot of albums I purchased. They were old stock. I try to anything I see, like you said, that's brand new and old stock. I try to get it. I don't look at the comp sometimes, but I need to start. But I get it because, like you said, you can put it on the eBay market, and when it's not available, you can put your own price to it. And if the collector wants it, they're willing to pay. Like these VHS tapes, I've never imagined VHS tapes selling for $7.99 right now. But
Right.
And I'm happy to be the person that goes out to find that collector's item that
Right, you're more than happy to pick up an item for 50 cents, $1, and turn around and sell it for $800. If they need you to do that, you're the go-to person for that. So let me say hello here to a couple people in the chat. We have Paul is here. The Philly Flipper is in the chat. Hey, Paul. I wanted to say hey to Cameron. LKL Graphic Keith is here. I wanted to say hey to Leroy is in the chat. And I wanted to say hey to Steve is here from Resell Dojo. And Jim's Closet Gems is here. So I hope you guys are having a great weekend. And I wanted to say hello here to Pam. Pam is in the chat. I hope I didn't mispronounce your name. And we had somebody in the chat. I wanted to give them a shout out because it said right here, it says Ms Taffy is Ms Taffy the legend. So, you're popular, Ms Taffy.
Oh, hey, Paul. Paul is so sweet.
Yeah.
He's very sweet.
So Paul says, how is the free candy van? What's that about?
I don't know if you recall. I was saying that I purchased the van. I call it the G-Wagon, the grind wagon. I bought that before I go to estate sales because I was going to these estate sales, and I told you I love the lawn chairs. I was getting all these items, and I was tearing up my Prius. I was tearing up my Prius, so I decided to get. Am I still here? Okay, I decided to buy a van, and for weekends I go to estate sales, but during the week I'm a haul or pay somebody to haul different items in it. He calls it the candy van, but I call it the G-Wagon, the grind wagon. And I love it. It's working so far for me, and you know what? It's allowing me to get bigger items with more space. It's just the only thing I do hate, guys. When I'm at the estate sales, I can't swoop in the parking spaces anymore like I did in my Prius. I have to really take my time because there's no back windows. That's the only thing. But I love it. It's great for the business, and it's bringing me more money. And reselling is paying for it. So it's like I'm not coming out of pocket. Like that tape alone.
Right. That's that big gray van that you picked up recently, right? Yeah, I saw it. I saw it in your videos. I'm like, let's go. Ms Taffy's moving up. Got a big old cargo van. You're out here doing your thing now. We have a question here in the chat says, do used VHS tapes sell?
Some. Like I said, it has to be a very rare movie. I would say check comps, but some do, but not that many. You have to be really, really old. Like I got one, it was 1970. I still have it listed, but it haven't sold yet. But I go for
Yeah,
sealed. Sealed is where it's at. And
right.
get
I'm
it.
with you. But yeah, you can when you scan it, you can look at the sold comps on eBay, and it'll show you how many of them sold in the past 90 days. Because some of these VHS tapes, some of these old items that are used, not everybody has machines. A lot of people have DVD players and Blu-rays and 4Ks and all that. So if you have a used VHS tape, it may sit for a while and collect dust, because not everybody has the machines and not everybody is looking for used tapes. But if you can pick them up for a quarter or 50 cents and turn around and sell them for 10, 15, 20, $30, because what you got to understand is the way that eBay switched up the platform lately is that these items that are media items like CDs, DVDs, VHS tapes, Blu-rays, video games, all that stuff is in the select category, right? So in that select category, you pay zero fees. So right now, if you have the basic store, eBay is giving you 10,000 free listings in those select categories. So at the end of the 30 days, if your item doesn't sell, it'll auto relist and you pay zero fees. So if you got it, you might as well list it because you're not going to be penalized for listing it. You're not paying insertion fees every month. I just sold a CD today for $30 and I paid 40 cents for it. And, I can afford to let it sit because I don't have a lot of money tied up in it. And every month I'm paying zero fees for it being listed on the platform. So if you have items like that, I would just go ahead and list it. And like I said, you can look up your sold comps. Let me say hello here real quick to BK from the Rockies is in the chat. I wanted to say hey to Gravity Good. And Philly Flipper says, how does Serena holding up? I don't know what he means by that.
Paul is funny. It's holding up well. Paul is being silly.
Okay. So do you still have your Prius as well, or did you get rid of it?
I still have it.
Okay, because that'll save you a ton in fuel costs. People don't realize it.
But luckily, both the van and the Prius are 4-cylinder cars, so I'm not paying that much in gas.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Now, since you've been out there hustling, what tips or tricks or advice do you have that can help us out? If we're at yard sales, we're at an estate sale, we're at a thrift store, and we're out hunting for merchandise, you have some advice or some pointers that you can help us out with, like what we need to go and target or what we need to be looking for? As we talk about, vintage items that are new in the plastic. What other items are like hot selling items or items that you're like on the lookout for right now when you hit a yard sale or estate sale? Go ahead.
War games. What else I like? War games do really well as well. Of course, like I said, the video games. If you go in the bathroom, I just sold a broke razor for $50. So look for
What?
that razors, vintage. Like I told you, vintage. That's all I want to do is vintage now. Look for old razors. I have a bar soap listed right now, guys, for $40 on eBay, and I got it for free. So soap, razors, like I said, tampons, um, like Cameron, when he just sold, I believe that was a quilt. Those sell well. T-shirts, vintage T-shirts do well, but I would say spend low. Don't find items that nobody are looking for. Um, I don't think that, to be honest. I went to the state sale today and got this VHS. It's the second day and I got this VHS. Nobody is looking for VHS. I want to keep it that way, but you guys, I want you guys to know. Go look for VHS, still VHS. Search the comps, search how many are listed, and go from there. Also look for toys. You can't go wrong with toys. Certain action figures do well. Vintage action figures do well. My main thing is take your time and don't be afraid to search for comps. And make sure you click sold. Don't just go by the listed price. Look in the recent comps that sold and get those items. Like I said, take your time. Don't go in there trying to buy up everything. Like I sold this VHS for $7.99. Don't go to the local store trying to buy up everything because everything isn't going to sell. I have a lot of VHS that's sitting up in my storage, and that's another bill because I'm paying that. But luckily, the reseller is paying for that itself. Get you a storage space. You can afford one. Use your closet at home. Use your trunk. But start at home first. If you don't have no money to spend, start at home. And then if you have nothing at home, there's websites. Um, they have free things up from there. They always it's people that's always listing things like they're either moving or just need to get rid of something. The name of the app is I believe it's called, Freebie, and people often list things that they just want to give away. You can just turn your alerts on. And as soon as they list something, just message them like, hey, I want to get it. Go pick it up and list it online. I would say start with Facebook Marketplace. eBay is good as well, but Facebook Marketplace, the fees are lower. So we want to keep as much money as you can to yourself. So I would say start on Facebook Marketplace and list the items on there. Take great pictures. When I'm taking my pictures, I always imagine it as though I'm the customer. I want it to be clear, legible, and make sure everything is shown in the picture. So that's how I take my pictures and I list the items on Facebook and eBay. But I would say go from there and start with free items. Don't go investing your money if you don't have it, because the goal is to make money. Now, once you start making that money, what I do, I take a percentage towards my bills, um, towards my savings, and then the rest I just invest. That's another
Right.
of it in order to continue the business because it's a growing business.
Yeah, like what Miss Taffy was saying, you guys would be surprised, especially like on a Saturday afternoon or like maybe late Sunday afternoon. People have stuff left over from yard sales for whatever reason that didn't sell, and they don't want to drag it back into the garage and take it back into their house. So a lot of the times they'll take this stuff and put it out at the street curve for free, and they'll just go take a photo, post it on Craigslist, and they say, "Hey, curve alert! It's at 123 Walnut Street. Go there, pick up whatever you want, but don't make a mess." And a lot of times, guys, you can get there, and I went there before and grabbed 4 or 5 garbage bags of stuff and just threw it in the trunk of the car, filled up the back seat in the trunk with stuff that was free. Because worst case scenario, it's stuff, if it's garbage, you're going to throw it away. If it's stuff that you don't want, you can donate it at the thrift store. And then whatever you make profit, you just keep it. You're not out nothing but time and gas to go pick it up. I wanted to say hello real quick to Julian was in the chat, Bearded Thrift Machine. So I wanted to say hello to the Bearded Thrift Machine was in the chat. And we have a question here from Blood, Sweat, and Soul. He says, question to Miss Taffy, what item have you been looking for that you haven't found yet?
That's a good question, Leroy. What have I been looking for? I would say that Star Wars, the one I just mentioned to you guys, the 3 movies that sold for 18,000. I've been looking for Star Wars VHS because ever since I sold that last VHS, to be honest, that's the first area of a home I go to say stuff now. Sellers. So the Star Wars VHS, I believe that has turned my reselling career around, and I'm looking for horror VHS and Star Wars VHS.
All right.
I found that one. I'm on a hunt, so I want the Star Wars. So I'm looking for that Star Wars. I'm gonna find it. I know I am.
Well, you're going to come across it. You're going to be, running around like that kid on that Willy Wonka movie when he got the golden ticket. That's going to be Miss Taffy. You're like, hey, I got it. I found it. I got the ticket. I got the golden ticket. So we have a question here from Gravity Goods Cameron. He says, what is your best/favorite sale the past couple weeks that you've had?
Um, Let me see. I would say the one from today. I don't know if you guys, if some of you guys are late to the chat. I sold this VHS today for $7.99. I'm gonna do a video about it on how I got it and everything.
Go ahead. I'll put you on full screen.
I paid 50 cents for this today.
Let's go.
Sealed. And I listed it and it sold within 10 minutes for $7.99.
Let's go. Let's go.
They just bought it. So this is my favorite sale. It's my best sale for the weekend. I bought it and listed it and it sold within 15 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. I wanted to say, hey, Sal is in the chat. So hey, we were just catching up with Miss Taffy, and we were talking about everything that's been going on with her. She had her booth at the Flea market. She just sold this VHS tape. She paid 50 cents for it, sold it for $800. We're talking about this big cargo van that you got. So Miss Taffy, tell me about what are some of the things that you want to do, like in the future, like what you see yourself doing in the next 3, 4, 5 years from now that you really would like to do? Like you're gonna try to grow and expand your reselling business, or what is it that you really would like to do? If someone came to you and I said, hey, Miss Taffy, in 5 years from now, you're gonna do what? Like what would you like to do?
I want to continue doing this estate sales. Like I said, this is my peace of mind. I enjoy doing this. I want to continue doing that for myself, but I want to perhaps more vans, bigger cargo vans, and I'm gonna have workers actually transport cargo, freight. I'm sorry, from state to state. That's my goal, to have at least 3 vans, and also just basically staying happy. I'm still be doing estate sales. Hopefully, I have a bigger warehouse thing, that I have. So I have a warehouse to store my things in estate sales, at least 3 or 4 more cargo vans that's taking freight from state to state. So several sources of income and just being happy. That's my main goal.
I feel it. Life goes by really quickly, guys, and if you're not happy doing what you're doing, you got to do something else. You got to do what makes you happy. But so Ms Taffy, tell everybody where they can go by and check you out at on YouTube and Instagram. I got your links listed down below, but let them know where they can go by and check you out at.
Right, my YouTube is Ms Taffy Mstaffy. My Instagram is the same thing, Ms Taffy Mstaffy. And I appreciate everybody that's been joining me on this journey. I just surpassed 500 followers, and I'm thankful for each and every one. And I'm on the grind, and I'm showing you guys. I think you guys with me. Y'all see me make this money. I know we all can do it. Like I said, I was depressed when I closed my business down, but I was so proud of myself. When I be at just so today, I'm gonna cry because I was just months ago. I was looking like, what am I gonna do? And I speechless now. I'm overwhelmed with joy because
You can do it, Miss Taffy. You got this. I'm in Florida. If I was there in California, I'd give you a big hug. You got this. You're gonna make it happen. So, guys, if you're not following Miss Taffy, she just hit 500 subscribers. We really would like to get Miss Taffy to 1,000. She puts in a lot of work and a lot of effort. You guys don't know if you're not a content creator, but she probably puts in a lot of effort. Editing the videos and still trying to work your full-time job, and then going out to yard sales and estate sales, finding stuff. I don't know if I want to read this comment or not, but Paul says, Miss Taffy, I'm taking sugar mama applications. Let me know when I can apply. So I don't know about that one, Paul. I think you got to be on the West Coast. Miss Taffy's in California. You're on the wrong coast, Paul. So we're just cutting up and having some fun. I wanted to say hey real quick to Sal's HQ, and I wanted to say hey to the Lone Star Picker is in the chat. Louis is here. He says he works hard, and I wanted to give a shout out to Cali reseller Louise. I saw his video, and he came by to visit you at your flea market shop. So thanks everybody for coming on and hanging out with us today. All the links are down below. Go ahead and follow our guest, Ms Taffy, and go by and check her out. So you have any words of wisdom or any final thoughts you can leave us with?
Stay positive. If you're feeling down, if nobody's being supportive, just know you got this. I've once been there. We all be there. But the goal is overcoming it. Staying positive and keep hustling, because guess what? At the end of the road, the light is there. Just keep going. Keep going. And just think about these VHS. Go look at the VHS tape, y'all. Horror VHS tape. The market is up there right now. Go make y'all some money and stay positive.
All right, guys. Yep. So there you have it. Go ahead and follow our guests. All the links are down below. You guys have a great weekend. Tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock, I have a brand new guest coming on. His name is Red Mountain Resell. So if you guys want to come by and check it out, he makes a full-time income reselling used shoes. So if you guys want to learn about the shoe game and you want to learn about how you can make money selling used shoes, come by and hang out with us tomorrow. It's Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern. So till then, you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us. Bye, everybody.